So this game, as the title says, is a bunch of kids versus a bunch of old men, and it's always interesting playing against very different styles of hockey, where these kids are all fast. They have generally like higher talent in terms of stick handling, not really shots, but in terms of like stick handling and puck movement than like most of my team, where my team they're getting older, they're slower, but they have kind of a different style hockey sense, and there's a lot less like individual players. It's kind of interesting putting the two against each other and seeing like what the end result is. And the other goalie on this team always plays very good and has kept them in a lot of games that they didn't deserve to be in. He's always a factor and does his best to really keep them in there. He's one of the better goalies in the league, and his movement is really fast. It's always a hard thing to kind of score on them with some of my teams, and this will probably be no different. So if you're buying hockey equipment and you want to support the channel, check out the links in the description. In the US, check out the links to Pure Hockey. In Canada, check out the links to Hockey Supremacy. If you click those links and make a purchase, I get a kickback from the sale. So anything that comes back from that comes right back into the channel, so I keep making more content and doing like real reviews and stuff. I got buy gear to do a lot of the tests for it, so that costs money and it would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, if you want to support the channel without buying anything, check out the links in the description to Patreon, buy me a coffee. Everything through there comes again back into the channel, so I keep making more content and doing real reviews.
Y'all
ready for this?
So as you could see, that was a pretty close game, and it went down right to the wire. Young kids were kind of like really outskating my team quite a bit, and you could see like the puck movement for that one power play was just, it wasn't like they were moving it back and forth a ton. They just had puck possession all the time. Unfortunately, we were missing a few defensemen, so we had 2 guys playing D that are much better as forwards, and it caused issues this game, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Sometimes you're just missing people, and that's just what happened in this case. First goal would have been stopped if I was wearing a different set of pads, and that's just straight up how it is. Now, I'm not saying the goal went in because I was not wearing a set of pads, but the way that these pads are shaped, they're kind of like a Z shape a little bit. They're not as straight above the knee as some pads like my true pads are. So if I was wearing my true pads, the pass out from behind would have hit that thigh rise and changed the direction of it. So it would have gone out kind of into the slot more, where it wouldn't have gone out to where the guy ended up being and sitting, which he ends up just grabbing it and putting it in. He was left all alone out there, but I should have got my stick in place to block that pass, and I wasn't really expecting it to go back out front that quickly, so it was kind of my fault there. I wasn't totally aware that's where the guy was. Like, he was so close on top of the crease. Second goal was a 2-on-1 where I bite hard on the very first move and kind of the first like shot, and my D kind of does too by going down into like a puck blocking position, which leaves a guy wide open like back door, and he makes the pass, but he doesn't actually like get it to him right. It ends up hitting his skate and going in. I bit already. Like, he kind of pump fakes a little bit. He puts weight on his stick to look like he was about to shoot, and I bit. And by the time that like I tried to recover off of that to get back into position because he kept moving forward, once he saw I was doing that, puts it back door, guy wide open, slides it across, wide open net, off his skate and in. Third goal, I totally overplayed this pass. I didn't get to where I needed to be fast enough, and I kind of didn't push out to like the top of the crease, and in doing so I realized I was kind of like moving off angle, so I tried to stop myself and get myself ready, and the player put it back towards where I was coming from, low post. It was a very good position, but you could see my like right leg kind of tuck inwards to try to cover more of like 5-hole and everything, and I just played it totally wrong. It was out of position, was too deep, was off angle. It was just kind of a mistake on my part. Finally, the fourth goal was again odd man rush, and one where when the player shoots this, I was thinking, why is he shooting this? What is he going for here? And it was a weird angle where it was like kind of in tight to my blocker, and I tried to just get a hold of it, but just where it came from, it caught me a bit off guard. I just didn't punch it out at all because I was just trying to make the save, and the rebound goes right to the guy who's sitting kind of like back door, and he just throws in the garbage. Would have been an awesome save if I managed to get that rebound too, but I didn't at all. This is another odd man rush, but at the same time, if I punch this out with the blocker, that rebound doesn't go to them, and then it's an easy save. So, and at the end of the day, we ended up beating this team barely. Like, we didn't really deserve to win this game, but we managed to sneak it through, so that's always a pretty good feeling. I kind of feel bad for the other goalie because he gets shelled all the time, and in this game was one of the cases where he didn't actually play that great. Usually he absolutely dominates in terms of like making unreal saves. Like, his team plays a lot of offense and fast going, but not great defense. Usually he's the one that has to do everything, and in this case, when they could have probably won, he just wasn't quite good enough this game, unfortunately.
You're watching HockeyReviews.ca.